Here we are, people. It is the 48th Copa America final between Argentina and Colombia. People wanted to see Argentina for Messi, Di Maria's last dance, and Colombia. I mean, these guys are unstoppable right now. Before we get to Rank and his thoughts, I'm going to get into my Peter Drury arc here. Argentina aiming for record 16th Copa America. Colombia hoping to win their second Copa America. A match that will be watched from the beaches of Cartagena to the bustling streets of Buenos Aires, from the altitude in Bogota to the glaciers in Santa Cruz. Colombians will be drinking aguardiente, while Argentinos will be mixing Fernet and Coke, as we gather around to witness Di Maria's final performance for Albiceleste or be amazed by James Rodriguez's brilliance. Can Argentina complete the dynasty and win another Copa America, or can Colombia continue the historic streak and secure a Copa America? Rank, I mean, it's a big game for you. It's a big game for Argentinians. A dynasty could be made here with this game. Is that like a big talking point in Argentina that if we win this Copa America, we might be one of the greatest international teams of all time?
Listen, there were a lot of talks after the World Cup if this was the best Argentina national team we've ever seen. Those mainly came from statements from the poll. It caused a lot of controversy, obviously, with the previous World Cup champions. But, if they do win this Copa America, it will be hard to argue that it's the best national team we've ever seen come from this nation. Because no team has ever won Copa America, then World Cup, then Copa America. And the only team that has done anything similar to that is Spain. So it would truly be one of the best national teams in the entire history of the game if we manage to win another trophy. Yeah, these players, basically, they've gotten addicted to winning at this point, and they want to do it for Di Maria. They want to do it for Messi again, as always. They just want to have another legacy-defining moment in their cabinet, and I feel like it's going to be extremely important. And even then, I feel like what this Argentina team has accomplished already shouldn't be understated, because after we went 28 years without winning anything, it seems now that that streak is over, it seems like what they are doing is easy. And getting to another final is not easy. Even with the route that we were giving by the draw, we had to face a lot of very, very difficult teams. Like Ecuador and Canada both gave us very, very good games. They were very competent. It's been no road of roses for this team, and they've earned every single thing that they've achieved. And I feel like reaching another final shouldn't be understated as just some other match that we're going to play. No, it's a huge achievement. And like you said, it's a chance to make history now.
And then we gotta talk about the aspect for Los Cafeteros. I mean, they're 28 games unbeaten. It is hilarious. Football works in funny ways. The last loss for Colombia was Argentina in the World Cup qualifiers, February 2022. And the last time these two teams met is when basically Dibu Martinez announced himself to the world and being that guy and standing up for Argentina. It is crazy how football works. And now these two teams meet in the final. I mean, if Colombia do this with the attacking flair they got, and defensively, I think they've been really good throughout this Copa America, going up against Brazil, going up against Uruguay and beating them in a semifinal, destroying Panama 5-0. I mean, nobody can say if Colombia win this final that, oh, they didn't deserve it. No, they would fully, similar to Spain. Spain have faced all the big teams, all the adversity. If Colombia win this, I mean, talk about winning a Copa America. Second time in your history and the first time outside of hosting it. And this is only their third final. I mean, the amount of support they're getting in the States is absurd. I'm very intrigued, actually, to see how it's going to go down in Miami between the fans, because not fighting or anything, people, but how many people will be there from Colombia and Argentina? Is it going to be 50-50? Because we know there's a lot of Colombians in Miami, and we know there's a lot of Argentinians in Miami as well. So let's get to this aspect of the game. Where do you see a weakness in Colombia that Argentina can exploit?
Oof, it's really tough. Colombia, I feel like, have been by far the most complete team in this Copa America, and it's something that I was talking about even before their game against Uruguay, even before the Copa America even started. This is the final that I said would happen, and I feel like if there's going to be a weakness in Colombia, I can potentially say that, Davinson Sanchez has been having an amazing tournament, but it's someone who I always look with a bit of suspicion when it comes to these kind of big games. So far his performances have been incredible, and he surprised me. maybe another weakness could be Mojica, but last night Mojica had an amazing game. No one was getting past him. So
He
like
locked down Pelistri.
he locked down Pelistri. Those would be the main points that I would look at from Colombia, saying, okay, we can maybe expose these players. We have the attacking prowess. We have very talented players up front who can make the most out of spaces that they may leave behind. But we need to actually perform on the day. And I feel like with the way that Colombia has been playing, this team really has no weakness. We're going to have to overperform them, which it's going to be a massively difficult task considering the form and the momentum that they're coming into now for the final.
The one thing I would be worried with Colombia is now Munoz was an absolute idiot. I mean, that was one of the most stupidest red. Look, I understand you got. He pinched him in the nipples. Okay, I can understand you're a bit pissed off. Don't elbow the dude in the stomach. In the VAR era, you're going to do that, Munoz? I mean, it's so idiotic. So now they're going to have to bring in Santiago Arias.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's levels to this. There's levels, and I would be worried about for Colombia. But when I look at Argentina, the left side of the attack doesn't really, threaten, I would say, Colombia's defense compared to, if that was like Mojica, okay, I'm a little bit worried because then you got Di Maria, you have Messi on that side who can really take advantage of those spaces. But Arias has got to step up big time because Munoz, I mean, the guy's just going forward defensively. I think he's been beast mode throughout this. And playing for Crystal Palace, he's been amazing for Crystal Palace. I think where Colombia are just strong is they're a team. They're just a unit. Every aspect of their game, the midfield from Richard Rios to Jefferson Lerma to obviously James, and then the attack. I mean, Yon Cordoba, thank God, and we talked about this before the Copa America rank, me and you. Borge is absolute garbage. And we saw that immediately in the Copa America. The miss he had against Brazil, to see how Yon Cordoba said, this is my position, he's taken it. And his hold-up play yesterday, I thought, against Uruguay was fantastic. So he's going to have a tough job, though. Because one thing Argentina got locked down is the spine of this team with Dibu, Cuti Romero, and Lisandro Martinez. So Yon Cordoba has to have a massive game. And these are the moments for Colombia where you look at Lucho and you look at James and saying, you two, if you can play the best games of your career, we're going to win this game. For them, this is the biggest game of their career. Without a shadow of a doubt. Nothing at club level can match to what it is playing for your national team and a chance to win a major trophy. So I'm expecting a big game from Lucho and especially from James. And James, I mean, he should be winning player of the tournament. He's already got the most assists ever in a Copa America tournament. The guy's unreal. They're dangerous on set pieces. I think this is probably one of the biggest tests for Argentina during this dynasty run that we say. Obviously Maracanã, Brazil away was pretty tough. France in the World Cup final. I mean, it was a France team that were dealing with some injuries, and Dembele, he's going to be a liability to any side. But this Colombia team, with the way they're playing, Néstor Lorenzo, we got two Argentinian managers. In Miami? This is going to be awesome. What about the aspect of Di Maria, though? Last game for the national team. He always comes up clutch. Finalissima, Copa America, World Cup. He has scored in all of those finals. Olympics as well, yes, 2008. What about him? Does he have one magical moment left? Because he hasn't been used a lot, I think, in this Copa America. But maybe they're just saving him for this moment here.
I sure hope so, that there is one last magical moment from the Angel, because he fully deserves it. Like, after all he's been through, he was part of that entire generation that had to see Argentina lose and continue losing finals, getting criticized. He was one of the most criticized players, even more than Messi, I would argue. He was the one who he talked this about himself, that it felt like he was bashing his head against a wall, and finally the wall came down there in the Maracanã. So it was a huge moment for Di Maria, and the amount of appreciation that he's gotten since then. And now this is, like you were saying, like the final dance, and it would be just so incredibly special if he could have another magical moment. And I'm sure that everyone in that team is gonna give everything for him. It's going to be very intense. Like you were saying, if he happens to play on the left, like he did in the World Cup final, he has a chance against Santi Arias. There's an opportunity there, definitely. I'm sure that he's going to have the game of his life. He's going to give it his all, because it's the last time. When are you going to give it your all? Like, it's going to be here or never. So for Di Maria, it's going to be a massive game, and I just hope that he can put the feels aside during the game, and we let the feelings out whenever the game ends. Whatever the result is, I feel like he should be given a massive ovation because it's been an incredible career with the national team. All the wonderful moments that he's given us. It's going to be very, very insane, whatever happens.
Yeah, to me, I think he's one of the most clutch players in international football history. Strong for Argentina, winning them the Copa America with the delightful chip. Oh my God, I mean, Di Maria will be a legend. But I'm more intrigued now because Messi made those weird comments after the game saying that these are the last battles I have. I'm wondering for him as well. You know, it hasn't been the best for Messi, but the guy's 37 years old. I say the same thing for Ronaldo. The guy's 39 years old. They're getting old, people. They're not gonna have the stars of performances that we've seen in the past from these two players. Messi can still give you those moments. But I wonder now, this is it. Last 90 minutes maybe for Argentina. Maybe he'll play qualifier still, or if Argentina win, he'll play the finalissimo and that's it. But this might be that one last legendary performance from Messi to show up against Colombia. And you need a Messi at his best to be, I think, this Colombian side. So it's going to be an interesting aspect for Lionel Messi overall because, yeah, he's gotten a goal, which I think he kind of stole from Enzo. I mean, it was going in, but he stole it. He kind of pulled a Ronaldo in that situation. What about James, though, Rank? I mean, he didn't even play. He didn't even get selected in 2021 because of lack of fitness. And 2024, the dude is looking like 2014. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have like the crazy goals that he scored in 2014. You know, the goal against Japan to Uruguay, they were spectacular. But if there is a set piece, you know he's going to put it right on a plate for either Cuesta or Davinson Sanchez or Jon Cordoba. So are you really worried with James Rodriguez in this game? Is he the biggest threat to Argentina?
I am worried, yeah. I feel like the biggest threat, if not Luis Diaz, is going to be him, definitely. He's been having an amazing tournament. It's unbelievable what he's done with Colombia. The amount of assists, like the set pieces have been so dangerous for Colombia this Copa America. It's just insane. And it's a bit sad in a way because with James, it's going to be one of the biggest what-ifs in football because it feels like he kind of came at the wrong time in this modern era of football where the number 10 role is not as used anymore by these systems that managers are trying to impose. And it feels like his club career, of course, there were some aspects to his indiscipline, but mainly to the system that no one was able to adapt him to a team. It's hampered his career massively at Real Madrid. Then, we saw him a short spell at Everton. His career was spiraling out of control. Now he's in Brazil, and he was not even starting many games before this Copa America. But for the national team, he shows up that he can still be a massively valuable asset. Nestor Lorenzo seems to have brought back that energy that he had during the Beckerman era. He was working as the assistant manager back then, and he seems to know how to get the best out of James. It's just been an incredible tournament, and I feel like he deserves it because after all he's gone through, he was also criticizing Colombia, especially during those qualifiers to Qatar 2022. So
I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't if you didn't score in seven straight games?
yeah, for sure. But he still had a very tough time during that period, and now he's having his redemption arc with the national team, and everyone is remembering back those moments of 2014 in Colombia when they were so happy, where they had one of their best teams ever. Definitely their best team ever at the World Cup. It's going to be a very special final for James as well. His first Copa America final, as everyone in this Colombia team is playing the first Copa America final, obviously, but it feels extremely special for James after the career he's had with the national team. And what is he going to do now? Like, is he going to have like another amazing moment that could define his career with the national team in this final? Like, it would definitely cement his legacy if he can do something in this final to give Colombia a Copa America.
Oh my God. If he scores a golazo in this game, I'm going to go crazy. I'll go crazy. If I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit worried though for Colombia because they went through, absolute battle against Uruguay. And I told you this, Rank, before the Copa America. Argentina have a cakewalk to the final. They're in flip-flops and shorts heading to Miami Beach. They were like, yeah, okay, the Ecuador game was a bit shaky at moments, but you didn't go through a war like Colombia just did against Uruguay. Like, that was 90 minutes of just straight, I don't know what battle in Colombia. Maybe something that Bolivar led. Because the amount of tackles and just also the mental side of 45 minutes, we got to play with 10 men. And I thought they handled it superbly. Yes, of course, Suarez, he hit the post. And Darwin, Jesus Christ, Darwin. So Colombia, that I'm a little bit worried about, but this is a good thing. They are battle tested. They can go through the adversity, and I think defensively they have been so strong. Yes, we can talk about the attacking prowess they have even off the bench, but defensively, I mean, Cuesta and Davinson Sanchez have been absolute beast modes. I mean, Vargas hasn't had a lot to do, I think, in this Copa America, if I'm honest. He hasn't really, even against Brazil, okay, yeah, it was Rafinha's incredible free kick. Other than that, yeah, there was a chance at the end where it was like 90th minute, 92nd minute. Vargas hasn't had much to do, so Colombia are, I think, really mentally, but they got to get physically ready now for this battle. It's one last 90 minutes. The one thing I would say as well, Colombia have to win this game in 90 minutes or 120 minutes. If it goes to penalties, I mean, it's game over. It's game over. I have no clue about Vargas when it comes to penalties, but I know the other guy. And I know the other guy is by far the best shot stopper when it comes to penalties in the world. So how do you think Argentina win this game?
We're gonna need something from our wingers, either like Messi, Di Maria. I don't know if Nico Gonzalez is gonna start. I doubt it. Like this is Di Maria's game, so it should.
Would you change anything from the starting lineup?
There was a chance that maybe Acuna was trying to be fit for this game, so maybe there's a chance that he replaces Tagliafico on that side. I feel like Montiel is going to start. I feel like Montiel going up against Luis Diaz, that is going to be the matchup. We're not going to start Molina in this type of game. It's going to be like at the Maracanã in 2021, where it was Montiel against Neymar. Now it's going to be Montiel against Luis Diaz, I'm pretty sure. And the midfield is the main thing I'm worried about, like, because McAllister and Enzo, despite getting goal contributions in the quarters and semis, they haven't been the best, and I feel like that is mainly why we've been struggling, because in the midfield we have looked a bit disconnected at times, and we don't really get those link-up passes that progress the ball forward to obviously our forwards. So I wonder if there are any possible changes to be made in the midfield, if maybe we see Paredes or Lo Celso making an appearance again. Maybe Palacios even, because the staff was very impressed with what they saw with Palacios in that game against Peru. Sure, it was Peru, but Palacios also had a wonderful season. So it's a possibility that we see changes in the midfield. The 11 that you put up against Canada is battle tested. We know what it is to fight this type of games. We did it against Brazil. We did it against the Netherlands. We did it against France. So this team is definitely ready if it is to be the same starting 11, but with the performances that we've seen from the midfield, you have to put that into question. Scaloni has always said that there are no starters, guaranteed starters in this team except for Messi and Emi Martinez. So everyone else is just fighting for their spot. And we see that Scaloni has been open to making changes in the lineup in the middle of tournaments as well, if he sees someone else coming into better form. So there are definitely possibilities for us to make any adjustments. And, like I said, if we are going to win this game, it's going to come from the wings, I feel like. And if not, like you were saying, we can take it past 120 minutes and we have Dibu Martinez in goal. So that is always a possibility that you have to take into consideration, because the guy is as motivated as ever. He wants to keep winning.
Yeah, I think you guys really got to be prepared in the midfield, because the one thing Colombia have been super strong throughout this unbeaten streak is the midfield is just bossing it. Now, I know Richard Rios came off injured in the game. I think he should be okay, though, for the final, because I saw the celebrations in the locker room. The guy was just jumping around, so I don't think he's got an injury. I can't remember which Uruguayan player just kicked the shit out of him. I mean, the referee even told him, get up, when clearly the guy was basically trying to assault Richard Rios. I think he'll be fine. Then Jefferson Lerma, I mean, he's been balling out. And then obviously you have Arias and you have James. That's the strong part of this Colombian team. When they get the ball, direct. And they're very good with it, because they have elite passers, they have elite progressors with the ball, and they got Lucho, who is an outlet on the left side. So now, I mean, it's a prediction time. The experience of Argentina will be very key in this game. They have been through a World Cup final, Finalissima, Copa America final. Colombia, this is new for them. But I think they kind of had like a finals taste a little bit against Uruguay. And I think that's going to be a key aspect in this game, that, okay, we've been through a battle for 90 minutes. If we can just have that same mindset again against Argentina, we can win. But I had Argentina winning the tournament before. I think you guys are going to complete the dynasty. I think it goes 1-1 and you guys win on penalties. Does this end in 90 minutes, or do you win on penalties again?
I had the exact same prediction as you. I think it's going to be a repeat of what we saw against Colombia in 2021. We have that edge on penalties currently. But it's going to be a very difficult game, because before the final, I said that I prefer to face Colombia because Uruguay have shown already that they can beat us, and we know that Uruguay has character. And I thought that every time that Colombia got into difficult situations and high pressure games, they tend to crumble. But now in the semifinals, they've shown that they were in a difficult spot, being a man down for an entire second half, and they were able to defend with their lives, and they showed what I thought they didn't have, which is character. They are battle tested now, so that is why this game is going to be incredibly difficult, and I can see very little separating these two teams because, as I said, we are battle tested, but now Colombia are battle tested too, and it's going to be a battle out there. Like I don't know if it's going to be a beautiful football final or if
Hey, it doesn't need to be. It don't need to be.
It doesn't need to be, but it's going to be very intriguing no matter what. It's going to be an insane game. The atmosphere, I think, is going to be crazy. I expect it to be 50-50 because the amount of people in Miami is going to be crazy. I would obviously be devastated if we lose because I really want us to complete this dynasty, and another Copa America trophy for Messi and for Di Maria would be insane. But, if we were going to lose to anyone, I feel like Colombia is probably the ones who deserve it the most. There is no way that you can go wrong with this final, in my opinion. It's going to be insane.
No, to be honest, if I'm as a neutral, I want Colombia to win. I think they deserve it. I think they've been the best team in South America for the entire 2024 year. I think they've just been amazing, and they play football that attracts the neutral. And I think them winning would be a great thing for South. Of course, Argentina, if they win, that would be amazing for Messi and all the Argentinians. But there's just something about this Colombian team. It just gives that 2014 vibes that you just enjoy watching them and you want to go buy the kit. Even though I don't like the kit right now, the black kit, okay, I might get that one. But yeah, it's just amazing to watch. But I still think Argentina are going to win on penalties. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, Colombians. But I just have that sneaky feeling that Argentina, they have the experience, and you need that experience sometimes in major tournaments.
Yeah, I think that also for Colombia, this would be massive in the sense that Copa America win that they had in 2001 has always had like a lot of asterisk. Like they were at home, Argentina weren't in the tournament, and they were top of the qualifiers back then. Brazil sent a B team, and obviously the year later they would win the World Cup. So there were always a lot of asterisks to that Copa America win that Colombia had. If they were to win this one, like you said, they would fully deserve it. Everyone is here for the Copa America, every single star player, and they had the toughest path to the final. And if they were to beat, they got a draw against Brazil, and then they beat Uruguay and beat Argentina, it would be like just obviously on foreign soil as well. So it would just be the complete win for Colombia, and it would be the best achievement in their history, in my opinion.
I knew once they released that Ryan Castro song, it was game over for everybody else. It's over.
Hey,
I've just been.
And now in the final, it's.
Oh yeah, Shakira. Oh my God, it's actually going to Colombia. It's going to Barranquilla or Bogota or anything like that. Before we head out, people, we're going to give our team of the tournament because I like to give it before the final so that I don't get overshadowed by a finals performance. I think it's good like that. Let's first go with the goalkeeper. I think it's either between Dibu or Crepo.
Emi Martinez has been the best goalkeeper in the tournament, in my opinion, obviously with that penalties performance against Ecuador. But you could say the same about Crepo with his performance against Venezuela, and I feel like he has faced the
and
most
Argentina in the first game.
Yeah, and Argentina in the first game, he had an amazing performance there too. For the sake of diversity, I would give it to Crepo, and also I think that he's been very, very good throughout this entire Copa America. If someone deserved to make the final out of Canada, it was probably him. It's been an insane road for him, and he has really stepped up as the new goalkeeper in a tournament for Canada, and it's looking great for the future for them.
I agree. And who would have thought of that before Copa America, that Crepo of Canada would be that is insane. That is insane. But yeah, we'll give it to him. Right back, I got two picks. I think it's either Aramburu from Venezuela. The kid is a beast. Oh my God, the kid is a beast. Or Munoz. It's one of those two. I'd maybe give it to Munoz, but the idiot that he is got that red card. That really overshadows my pick. I would slightly give it to Munoz. I just think attacking-wise and defensively, he's just been a monster. It's such a shame he's not in the final, man. Why did I'm going to get frustrated just think about the red card, but he should be right back. I think Aramburu, he didn't start the first game. He started the next three games, but Munoz, I mean, throughout 2024 against Spain, a golazo, scored against Paraguay. The dude is the monster.
Yeah, I 100% give it to Munoz even with what he did against Uruguay. Such a stupid decision. Aramburu definitely there, honorable mention for him, but Munoz has been on a total different level. Like no one in the right back position has come close to him. And yeah, like you said, it's a shame that he's not going to be in the final. That could really cost Colombia. But
All right, now center backs. I got Lisandro, Davidson Sanchez, Cuti Romero, and you know what? I'm gonna throw a Mexican in there. I'm gonna either put Cesar Montes or Johan Vasquez because I actually think they played pretty well. The two center backs for Mexico. I think we got to put Davidson Sanchez in there. I think he's been locking it down for all the games, man. Because it started with Lukuimi, but he got injured. Then Yerry Mina came in, and then I don't trust Mina. Then obviously Cuesta has been really good partnership with Davinson Sanchez. I think Davinson Sanchez should be one of them.
I really don't rate him, but he's been having an amazing Copa America. If we're being fair, he could probably be there. My picks would be Cuti and Lisandro. I feel like if there have been some redeemable aspects about Argentina with how shaky we've looked is the defense. The two center backs have been so crucial. Whenever the midfield has been not stepping up, I feel like that defense has been the key as to why we were able to keep so many clean sheets. Sure, Divo Martinez has been great as well, but he really hasn't faced many shots, and that's because of the work that Romero and Lisandro have put up. And it's just everything about them as center backs, the intuition that they have, the vision of the game, the timing is perfect. They always get to the ball first. The problem with Guti is that sometimes he lifts his leg up after reaching the ball. Davinson Sanchez is definitely a fair pick as if you see the entirety of the tournament for Colombia, but the amount of work that Licha and Guti have put up, it's been insane. My two center backs would be the Argentinians.
Okay, yeah, we'll give it to Argentina. Who would you have at left back? This is a.
Listen, I was thinking about this when you told me because there haven't been really that many standouts at left back.
Yeah.
But last night I was convinced. Like I think I would give it to Mojica. Mojica, he wasn't really impressing in the first few games against Paraguay. He was getting exposed against Brazil. He was getting exposed. No one else has really stepped up to that level in left back. And the game that he had last night was so insane. Nobody got past him. He was a wall right there on the left-hand side of the defense for Colombia. I feel like he had a statement game, and if he can do anything similar to that against Argentina in the final, he is guaranteed the best left back in the tournament. But like I said, it's mainly because there's not much competition in that spot. And yeah, that just fantastic performance. It's such a crucial game, being down to 10 men. I feel like I think that Mojica has earned it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, pre-tournament, it should have been Alphonso Davies, in my opinion. But I just don't think he's gone to that level at all. I don't know if it's just position-wise or what, but we haven't seen the best of Alfonso at this Copa America. I wonder if it's the transfer rumors going on and contracts and this sort of issues are clouding his mind because we have not seen the best of Alfonso. So yeah, I would go with Mojica. Just based on that performance he did yesterday, the dude locked down Pelistri. He's got him still in his pocket, bro. He ain't emptying that pocket until the next game. All right, now the midfield. I'll give a couple names. Jefferson Lerma, maybe McAllister, maybe Richard Rios, Caicedo, and Ugarte.
My double pivot would be Richard Rios and Rodrigo de Paul. I feel like the one player that has really been standing out from the midfield, as always, from Argentina is de Paul, and we saw it against Canada. In my opinion, he was player of the match, first with that assist for Julian Alvarez, and then, as always, with his work rate, has always been the guy covering spaces and pressing, recovering the ball in crucial areas of the pitch. I feel like de Paul is just another crucial aspect of the spine that Scaloni has solidified for this national team. And in my opinion, even though, like I said, the midfield hasn't really been standing out for Argentina, de Paul is the one redeeming quality that I see there. So I would have him there. And then, I kind of have my agenda with Richard Rios because I need to promote South American football, and the guy is just a beast. He's been insane. Do you know the story of Richard Rios? Like, you know what?
Yeah, he's a former futsal player.
He was playing futsal at Flamengo.
Craziness.
The guy is the definition of football. Like he's been living in Brazil.
And he's Colombian.
He's more Brazilian than many of the Brazilians in the national team. The guy defines football. He's such an insane player. The technical ability, the vision, the physicality, everything about Richard Rios is so complete, and he's finally been showing up at this Copa America that he should have been starting for a long time for this national team. What he's doing for Palmeiras, where he's given a lot more freedom in that area of the pitch, is also insane. So my double pivot would be De Paul and Richard Rios. I feel like it's been an insane tournament.
I think we got to give more credit though to Ugarte, man. I think Ugarte has been really. I think he's been better than Rodrigo De Paul throughout this Copa America. I think De Paul had a better game against Canada, but Ugarte really that quarterfinal performance, even though it was a bit of a physical battle, and that was prime Ugarte right there. He just smelt the tackles and said, "I'm in my element," like a shark when he smells blood. That was Ugarte against Brazil. Yeah, look, he's not the greatest on the ball, but overall, I think Valverde has been a little bit of a disappointment. De La Cruz had one good game. De Arciate, it was okay. I think Ugarte really saved Uruguay's midfield when at times they were getting exposed. Against Panama, United States. Who was there? Ugarte. So it's Richard Rios and Ugarte for me. Do you have somebody in the 10 position? Who do you have in the 10 then?
James, because he's been the player of the tournament. There's no one else.
Okay, so you play James in the 10 then. Okay.
He has to be there.
My question would be then who's right wing? Because there's nobody standing out in right wing position. I actually have James in the right wing position.
Wow. And who's your 10?
There hasn't been really anybody standing out in the 10, so I kind of went with McAllister. James has kind of been playing like a right wing, right CM, sort of in that area. He's been picking up the ball mostly in that situation.
Obviously, James has to be in the 11 as the player of the tournament.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely incredible. We've talked about it enough. I would have him in the 10. And then on the right wing, like I said, there haven't been really any standouts. I feel like Rafinha had a good tournament. Probably one of the best players for Brazil this tournament. Pelistri during the group stage games, he was pretty good. You could maybe make an argument for Messi. It hasn't been the best Copa America for Messi, so it's pretty difficult. In this last game against Canada, he's shown a lot better than against Ecuador. Against Ecuador, you could really tell that he wasn't 100% fit. Against Canada, we saw again that Messi that was able to find pockets of space and find a few good passes on to the left. It hasn't been the best Copa America for Messi, so it's very hard to make a case for that. I would really like to push that argument. I feel like I would put Rafinha on the right wing and have James in the 10, but it's a bit difficult to make an argument, like I said, for someone on the right wing. There hasn't been really that many standouts.
I mean, I guess we could put Rafinha, even though he was terrible, I thought, against Costa Rica, but other than that, he actually was pretty decent. I thought he was like the only threat for Brazil against Uruguay, because none of the other forwards were doing anything. Rodrigo, nothing. Endrick was just getting bullied out there. So yeah, I guess we could put Rafinha and then James in the 10. Left wing, Araujo?
I would have Lucho. We expected a lot more from Luis Diaz in this Copa America, as we thought that he was going to be the main star man for Colombia instead of James. But I feel like the main thing why Luis Diaz hasn't been shining as much is because teams are aware that he's the superstar. In the first games against Paraguay, against Costa Rica, against Brazil,
they just kept double-teaming him.
Double-teaming him. Yeah, he was so insane. He was not able to do anything. He barely received the ball in good positions. And even then, he managed to create a lot of chances. Against Panama, obviously, he had a field day. And then in the game yesterday, he had a very difficult job because when they went down to 10 men in the second half, he was basically the only reference up top. And people were just giving him the ball and hope that he did something. He would draw in a foul. He would make runs in behind, try to create havoc. So I feel like the contributions from Luis Diaz this Copa America have been very valuable, even though he hasn't shined as much as we would have expected at the start of the Copa America.
I guess we can go with Lucho. Araujo had a good first 2 games of the Copa America, then got injured against the United States. Knockout stage, we haven't seen the best of Araujo. So yeah, I guess we had to go with Lucho. We better agree on the striker, right? Is it a wine player?
Oh, no.
No! You don't have Solomon Rondon!
I don't have Rondon as a striker.
You have Lautaro.
I was debating between Julian and Lautaro, who I would have because...
No. Solomon has to be... Solomon Rondon has to be there, bro. For what he did for Venezuela, he is the only threat for them. I mean, Sotodinho, I don't know, the guy looked like he was from the Galapagos. He was not playing in Brazil. That guy was playing Galapagos. I don't know what happened to Sotodinho. Bale had a good performance on the right side. I think without Solomon, they don't do anything at this Copa America.
You know
The goal
what? I
he scored,
respect it.
that golazo he scored against Canada, his off the ball work rate, he basically got 2 assists against Ecuador in the first game. I think Solomon has been a beast for them. Without him, I don't think they get out of the group. I think
Fair enough.
Mexico somehow get out of the group. So Solomon has to be in the starting 11. Lautaro did his thing in the group stage, and he didn't really get a lot of service against Ecuador. To be fair to Lautaro and Julian, you see the good moments, and then you see the quiet moments from Julian. I think Solomon has just been a beast throughout against Jamaica, Mexico. You name it, the guy shows up. Played against Argentina in the semifinal. Maybe Solomon would have gotten a goal there. He could have actually
Fair
been
enough.
top goal scorer. He could have actually been top goal scorer of this whole entire Copa America. So
He could
yeah,
have
we
been.
got a
Yeah, no,
Venezuelan.
I respect it. I respect it. I hadn't really thought about Rondon. So yeah, it's definitely fair to put him as the striker. Like you said, Lautaro, he's had moments in the group stage, 4 goals in 3 games. It was really, really good. And now Julian against Canada showing another great semi-final performance and showing that he's made for these big occasions. And just his off-the-ball movement is so integral to this Argentina team and how we press. And his link-up play as well. So everything about Julian is very valuable to Argentina. But yeah, no one has been as fundamental to their team as Rondon. So you know what, I respect it.
There we go, people. There's our team of the tournament. Let us know your team of the tournament in the comments down below. And I mean, do I even need to ask who the player of the tournament is, people? I think we all agree. It is
Yeah.
one James Rodriguez. I mean, if the guy shows up in the Copa America final, scores a goal, and gets an assist, I mean, this will be one of the most legendary sort of Copa America performances ever. I mean, ever. The fact that
Ever.
his career was just going downhill, it looked like nothing was going to happen. To just have a sparkling moment like this in 2024, he's going to turn 33 tomorrow. What a moment for him. It's one of those moments that you always will remember as a football fan. You're like, okay, we remember James from 2014, but do you remember what he did in 2024? And he could lead Colombia to their second ever Copa America. Rank, let the people know where they can find you. I imagine you're going to do a watch along for the final as well. So if you want to see high blood pressure people, watch Rank's watch along for the final.
Yes, yes. We're gonna be live from a bar in Buenos Aires. They've been hosting me for the Argentina game, so it's been a wonderful experience with the watch-alongs over at Rank Talks Bowl. So that's where you can find me on YouTube. I'm gonna be doing that watch-along for the final, and after that, after the Copa America is over, going back to the regular schedule with the Copa Libertadores and the video essays.
But everybody, we'll be live after the game. I'm going to pull an all-nighter because the Euro final, and then a couple hours later, I'll be watching Shakira, and then I'll be watching the Copa America final. So we'll be live after the game talking about it. Either we're going to talk about a dynasty, or we're going to talk about Colombia securing number 2, and what a storyline that would be. See you all later. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Remember to join the Discord. Me and Rank are there. We're talking all things. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time, adios.